Here's your prophecy update. The New American reports that the UN wants an official artificial intelligence to advance the Agenda 2030. Imagine a world where supercomputers programmed by totalitarian technocrats make virtually every important decision for you, in addition to manipulating you at every turn. Such a dystopian future for the world may not be that far off, at least if humanity continues on its current course. And the technocrats behind the plan barely even bother to conceal their agenda at this point. The United Nations is now openly plotting with big business and big government to exploit artificial intelligence, or AI, to further its agenda, especially the totalitarian ideology it calls sustainable development. Multiple UN bureaucracies have convened summits this year for that very purpose, really bringing together leading experts in the field from around the world. And the goal is to harness artificial intelligence and big data, these big databases, for what the UN considers to be the global good. You've heard of that? The common good of everybody? Well, now the UN is even seeking to hire an artificial intelligence advisor to help weaponize emerging technologies and artificial intelligence to advance its totalitarian United Nations Agenda 2030 and the so-called Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs, that are at the very center of it. At the same time, the potential threat posed by artificial intelligence is being cited as a pretext to further empower the UN to create global laws and regulations. Of course, the United Nations is the world government on earth today. And so, unsurprisingly, really, when the dangers of artificial intelligence were mentioned, it was almost always in the context of empowering transnational institutions to, let's say, deal with them by further empowering government and globalists. A recent UN summit was held to help produce a common understanding of how emerging technologies, and artificial intelligence in particular, can be used to advance the Agenda 2030 of the United Nations. And it's really the radical master plan for humanity, or rather than the United States Declaration of Independence, it's their Declaration of Interdependence, this global community that they're trying to establish, as United Nations leaders have called this UN plan. Well, it involves national and international wealth redistribution, because it's a socialistic platform, and full-blown global governance, government control of production and resources, and a surrender of liberty and national sovereignty, global indoctrination of children, and really much, much more. That's just a few parts to it. And when combined with other troubling developments and trends around the world, the establishment push for a cashless society, the communist Chinese regime's Orwellian credit scheme to rank all of its victims based on their slavishness, and the emergence of smart cities, the exploitation of big data, these huge databases by governance really for tyranny, and constant warrantless surveillance, extreme data gathering, and mining deployed against children, and really much, much more. Well, it's clear that humanity is really at a dangerous crossroads. And really, if you look at it from the prophecies of the Bible, these efforts by the United Nations to implement Agenda 2030 is the ongoing establishment of the world government prophesied to be in power just prior to the second coming of Jesus Christ and the battle of Armageddon.